All right, I wanted to do a video about this topic for so long. Now I got the time, and let's talk about fasting. Is it good? Is it bad for you? What is it doing to your body? Are the benefits that everybody is talking about fasting, are they actually real? Do they actually help you? Why does it help you? Can it be helpful short term? We're going to talk about any kind of fasting: intermittent fasting, dry fasting, water fasting, and I'm going to talk a little bit about, in general, if you should do fasting or not, what it's actually doing to your body, so on and so forth. And maybe I'm going to share a little hibiscus rosehip tea with you. I mean, you can't have it, I know, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have maybe a little tea while we're talking here. Rosehip is very good for your immune system. It's very high in vitamin C. And if you have heart palpitations, it helps with that. And hibiscus is very good for your heart as well, for any kind of cardiovascular problems. Also great for the immune system, but hibiscus is especially great for your liver. That's why I have it today. But anyways, let's talk about fasting. And by the way, hibiscus is also great for your adrenals. So if you used to fast a lot, you have probably weakened adrenals. Let's talk about that. So a lot of people think fasting is very good for you and it's one of the best things you can do for your health, and it has so many benefits, from weight loss, from cleansing, autophagy. It has improved brain functioning, all kinds of improved gut problems, like all kinds of health benefits that are coming from fasting. But what people don't understand is that these benefits are not directly coming from fasting. It's from a different reason, okay? And they're actually not long-term benefits if you really think about it. So most people out there, they're trying or doing intermittent fasting because they think it's going to help them with their health problems. They think they feel amazing about it. And what you need to understand today as well is that if you're fasting, there's a difference between fasting between healthy people, and there's a difference between fasting and people that are chronically sick. So there's a difference between men and women. So if you are a woman, this video is especially beneficial for you, because there are lots of healthy people out there that are just, doing intermittent fasting, or they're promoting fasting, or also healthy men specifically. And then women that have weaker adrenals, and women that have hormonal problems, and women that are chronically sick are trying to do the same thing, but then they can't do it. And I'm going to talk about that today. So first of all, most people, when they're doing intermittent fasting, they're hooked on caffeine. So they're doing intermittent fasting, they don't eat for a longer period of time, like do like 16 to 8. They don't eat for 16 hours, and then they eat for 8 hours or something like that. And then between that time, they're running on adrenaline because they're consuming caffeine. So here's the thing why fasting is not good for your adrenals, okay? Let me talk about that. Let me take a sip of tea to calm myself down before I talk about that. So good. So what happens is, when you don't eat for 1.5 to 2 hours, your blood sugar drops. And when your blood sugar drops, there is no glucose in your bloodstream, obviously. Nothing that is keeping you going. So something else in your body has to keep you functioning, which is adrenaline, okay? And that adrenaline is coming from your adrenals. And that adrenaline is helping you to keep you going. You can even feel better. That's also one of the main reasons why people feel better on intermittent fasting or fasting in general, because they're so on adrenaline that they feel like this crazy high. And then I feel like, oh my God, I feel amazing. Oh, I feel so great when I'm fasting all the time. Yeah, it's because you're running on adrenaline. But the thing is, the benefits that people claim you get from fasting is not actually from fasting. So let's talk about some of these kind of things. People say you go into a cleanse mode. Okay, you go into autophagy. So first of all, most people don't even do real fasting. If you want to do a real fast, your body goes into fasting mode after 24 hours. And if you consume any kind of glucose or any kind of fat in between that. Your body's never really going into a fast mode. It's not possible. Because people, when you then, even if you put butter in your coffee, what a lot of people are doing, there's sugar in there. This is breaking your fast. There's sugar and butter. So most people don't even do real fasting, first of all, because you only really fast after 24 hours. That's only where your body really goes into a fasting mode, which is also not recommended, by the way. And then they also think when you're doing fasting, you cleanse your body in a miraculous way. But here's the thing. When you don't eat for 1.5 to 2 hours, what I just mentioned, your blood sugar drops and your adrenals kick in to keep you running, to keep you going with the adrenaline. And what's happening then is that your adrenals weaken. Your adrenals weaken. And almost everybody nowadays already has weakened adrenals. We're in like an epidemic of adrenal fatigue, especially women. And everybody's hooked on caffeine, everybody's hooked on additional high-fat, high-protein diets, which is also hard on the adrenals, which is also hard on the liver. And then the fasting on top of that, and if you then even do caffeine, it's insane. You completely wreck your adrenals because caffeine also prompts your adrenals to release lots of adrenaline. So you never really go into fast mode. You kill your adrenals when you're doing fasting. And then, but I'm going to cleanse my body, but I feel so good on it. Here's the thing. If you fast, you don't eat anything. Okay, so far so good. You don't eat anything. Why do people cleanse when they're fast? It's not because they don't eat anything. It's because they stop eating fats. Fats, when you don't eat fats, you cleanse. When you eat fats, you stop your cleansing. It's really that easy. So when you don't eat your chicken sandwich in the morning, when you don't eat your eggs in the morning, when you don't eat your avocado bowl in the morning, when you don't put when you avoid your smoothie in the morning, it doesn't matter if you're vegan, paleo, carnivore. When you stop doing the fats in the morning, your liver gets a chance to cleanse. It's not that your body is fasting, it's not that your body is cleansing because you fast, it's because your body is cleansing because you don't eat fats. That's why your body is able to cleanse a little bit. That's why you feel better. That's one of the main reasons why people feel better. That's also why people see that growth hormone in your body more, because you can see it better because there's no fat in the bloodstream. It's one of the main things as well. And the whole fasting thing is just so wrong. Like, people don't even understand that important part of information, that if you don't eat fats, that you start to cleanse. But you can also just lower the fats in general in your diet, or just avoid fats in the morning altogether and give your liver a break, and then you cleanse. And you don't crash your adrenals. So there's a way to cleanse and detox your body without crashing your adrenals. That's actually how you should cleanse your body and detox your body without killing your adrenals. But people kill their adrenals out there, and especially women. And then you kill your whole hormonal system, your whole endocrine system, because the adrenals are the most important endocrine gland of your whole body. And then you're supposed to fast. But if you're fasting, yeah, you might cleanse a little bit. Yeah, you might lose a little bit of weight, but you completely kill your adrenals. You can cleanse, you can lose weight, you can improve your chronic health symptoms without fasting, without killing your adrenals. That's actually the only way to do it, because if you fast, you're never going to go to your goal. You're never going to get to your goal because it's not sustainable. And also, here's one thing. What I also realize is that, and I really mean that, is that we're not in touch with our intuition anymore. Like, nobody's really in touch with their intuition anymore. So I'm just asking you an honest question. Just from your intuition, would you let your pet fast? Would you let your kid fast, your 10-year-old girl? Would you let your grandma fast? Would you tell to your loved ones, don't eat? Just don't eat. Would you tell that to your loved ones? Do you think, like, just intuitively? because you would never do that probably, hopefully, because you would know, you would somehow feel this is not right. Like I don't feel like this is good for somebody to not eat. And it is not good. And there's no animal out there in nature as well that thinks like, that has access to food, oh, let me not eat right now. Because that's completely normal that you crave food, that your body wants to eat because it's energy. And the good thing is you can cleanse your body without killing your adrenals. And the fasting thing is so misunderstood. Dry fasting, never do that. Like, dry fasting is completely insane, because if you do that, it's like putting your body under so much adrenaline that you're in survival mode the whole time. I would never ever advise that. You know, water fasting, if you have food poisoning, I mean, that can be something that can be helpful. That's the only situation where I would recommend water fasting is actually when it's like an emergency situation, like a food poisoning. But other than that, people don't have enough glycogen storage in their liver to be able to sustain water fasting as well. The reason why some people can do like 24, like 10 days, 7 days, 20 days water fasting is because they're blessed with a liver that has not a lot of glycogen storage, and the liver is releasing that glycogen storage in your bloodstream, keeping you going. And you run on adrenaline as well. So what's happening in general on fasting is you cleanse because you don't eat fats. That's why people feel better. People also feel better because they run on adrenaline like crazy. Like crazy. That's why people feel better when they're on caffeine. It's basically the same mechanism behind that. And if you really want to know how to actually cleanse your body sustainably by not killing and wrecking your adrenals, and have like a sustainable, natural approach to what you have going on with your chronic fatigue, with your brain fog, especially when you're a professional or business owner, and you need help with that, and you want to actually know how to really take care of your body, how to cleanse, how to do a proper detox. And it's not something that you just do like, oh, today I'm going to detox and the next day I'm going to go on a big cleanse and then I'm not going to do it for half a year. It's something that you have to do nowadays every day, because we're exposed to so many chemicals and toxins and pollutants and viruses and bacteria that are making us sick. So you really need to make sure that you do that on a daily basis. Otherwise, you're not going to get better with your chronic health problems. And if you really want to know how to do that, there's a link under that video, and where my website is www.theobergmann.com, and there you can book your free discovery call. If you book that call, somebody from my team will call you. We'll figure out in like 20-30 minutes if and how I can help you first, and if so, we would move on to a strategy call, which is like 60 to 90 minutes with me personally. And in that call, I would give you a free initial consultation. I would show you exactly, hey, this is what we need to do. This is the root cause of your problems. This is actually how we can get you better with your chronic health issues, whether it's chronic fatigue, whether it's brain fog, whether it is adrenal fatigue, whether it's an autoimmune condition. And I would highly recommend you doing that, because if you don't really know, first of all, what's causing your problems, if you don't really know what the foods and the cleanses and the fastings actually do to you, you're groping in the dark the whole time without never even getting better. And that's exactly what I help people with. I have the results of doing that. If you never saw the results, check out my playlist here on YouTube, where there's a whole playlist for all my testimonials. You should also check out my Trustpilot. But please book that call right now, because that's the most important thing for you. Go to my website, www.theobergmann.com, and book your free discovery call, because you have nothing to lose for that. Yeah, thank you for watching that video. I'm going to talk more about this topic as well in the future, and some other trending topics. And make sure to subscribe to see my next videos as well. So talk to you soon, and I'm going to enjoy my rosehip hibiscus tea with a little bit of honey. Bye-bye.